Spencer Ahrens is coming to Champaign. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Illini, your daily podcast on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the breaking news edition of Locked On Illini. My name is Sunny Verma. You can find me at IlliniCast. You can also find me at the Sunny V. A simple reminder, I'm the only Illini provider out there who's giving you daily Illini content, and that includes breaking news. So if you want to help support the channel, I would sincerely appreciate it if you just hit that like button and hit the subscribe button while you're watching. Today, we got some exciting news in Champaign. Spencer Ahrens, I hope I'm saying that right. My guest will tell me in a second, decided to finally commit to the Illini, and I wanted to be the first to basically give you guys a little quick breakdown of what his game is like and how he can fit with the Illini in the near future. And for that, I'm going to be bringing on friend of the program, Alex from Armchair Illini. Alex, how are you today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you bringing me on to Locked On Illini.
Of course, no problem. Thank you for coming on. So, let's talk about the newest commit. Spencer, first off, am I saying it right? Ahrens?
To be honest, I think it's Ahrens, but I'm not. I think it could go either way.
Okay.
I got to do a little bit more digging on that.
It's almost a joke how bad I am with names, so I'll go with what you said, Ahrens. 3-star, not as highly rated as some of the guys that Illini fans have kind of gotten used to over the last couple of months. But I'm going to be honest, I really like his game, and I kind of understand his fit and why Brad Underwood likes him too. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a really good fit. A little background about him. I think a reason why he's probably not as high rated is because April 2023, he had a pretty major shoulder injury, ended up missing the summer of 2023. Obviously, the summer is a big time opportunity for recruits to get their names out, kind of boost their stock, things like that. So he did miss summer 2023, which is probably why he flew under the radar, but he's had a great summer 2024. Teammates with Will Riley on the EYBL circuit. That's probably where Underwood and Antigua got their evaluation of him. He played with Team Canada at the FIBA Cup, the under-18, the same one that Merez Johnson played at, put up good stats, just as good as Merez is. So that's a little bit of reference. Obviously, his game is a lot different than Merez. I think he has a lot more, 3-4 skill set, the shooting, the versatility, ability to put it on the floor. And we talk about losing Ben Hummerkaus after this year. I think it's a perfect fit for what Brad Underwood wants.
Yeah, and this is a guy who the Illini staff has been watching for a while. He was originally offered by Chester Frazier. And obviously, Chester moved on, but he was re-offered very recently. And again, I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I think his game makes sense for what Underwood wants to do. Brad basically took on a brand new offense last year. And what he does now is kind of attack the defense, right? He wants to play an offense which can manipulate lineups from the opposition side. He loves to have a big who can shoot, who can play make, and basically force the defense to kind of come up with the players to stop him. And Spencer's a guy who, in my opinion, I don't see him playing much his first year in college. He's a guy who I think could work with Fletch, who can, just get better every single day practicing against, this Illini basketball team. So I don't think he's going to, provide much right off the bat, but he's a guy in 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons. By his 3rd season, I think he could be a very valuable, if not one of our biggest contributors on the basketball roster. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I certainly agree. I think we talked a bit about this on the last episode of IlliniCast. I think the COVID year coming to an end really changes how prep recruiting is going to look. I think the past 2 years, you kind of see a focus on the transfer portal, taking 5th-year guys, things like that. But I think there's going to be a shift back to the prep recruiting. And I think you got to have at least 1 or 2 guys on your roster, especially, the 11th, the 12th man, who's bought into development, who's going to take a little bit, but after a year or 2 of kind of sitting behind some players and developing and using Adam Fletcher and some of the, the strong abilities to develop players the coaching staff has, to be really good older players. I still think age wins in college basketball. And obviously you got to get older players, and Underwood has used the transfer portal for that. But I think you also need to have guys that are within your program for a period of time. So I think you hit the nail right on the head. And if Ahrens is buying in to development, I think this is going to be a really, really good piece, come 2027, 2026, things like that.
Yeah, and it's not like his offer list. I'm taking a look at it now. Arizona State, Penn State, Nebraska, Missouri, Xavier. It's not like those are bad basketball schools. Missouri might be, but the other ones, the other ones are like pretty quality basketball programs, and so it's not like we're taking a risk or like someone who's very underdeveloped. Like you said, I think this is obviously another Antigua commitment. He's basically worked on it. I referenced this in one of my initial videos about Spencer right here on Locked On Illini. I thought that maybe the Illini would take their time with this commitment, or at least pursuing Spencer to a commit. But once they decided to lock down, and bring Spencer in for an official visit to Champaign, that showed me that there weren't other guys that they had ahead of Spencer. Like Spencer was a target, and he's someone that they wanted almost immediately. And now that I'm talking through, it might be a guy who they think is also underranked and being unnoticed by some of the better programs out there. And so they wanted to lock this down immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Tim Anderson dropped a pretty cool statement on Stephen Bardo's podcast, Bardo's Breakdown. He's like, when we want a guy, we really don't miss. So I think that's exactly what you said too. You bring up a guy on an official and you lock it down. That shows that they have a feeling that he might blow up. And so why wait? If he fits, if you see the evaluation, just lock it in and take the guy. And I think that's exactly what they did, bringing him on for an official visit like now.
It depends on the website. I'm seeing 6'8", 6'9", a pretty solid size. It looks like, for the most part, he'll probably slide in as a 4, but he'll be able to move around a little bit on, when it comes to at least positionally. I think the relationship with not just Antigua, but playing with Will Riley, which you had mentioned before, with Team Canada, that probably helped. And overall, I guess, what are your opinions on the commitment? Do you like this commit? Like, are you excited for it? Are you lukewarm about it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a reach. You and this is no shot at a guy like Jason Jackstis. I think it's not one of those where you're just like, okay, hopefully it works out. A guy that didn't have too many high major offers, you see what he could be, and you're kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. But I think it's a high major prospect wanted by high major programs. There's proven statistics on the FIBA World Cup, and he put up a good amount of points on there. So this isn't a reach by any means. And I think the familiarity with Will Riley, in the article that we posted at armchairillini.com, there's a video specifically of Will Riley and Ahrens doing a little 2-man game and kind of playing off of each other, especially playing in screen and rolls where, Riley gets doubled and Ahrens is kind of the short roll man. So check out that article. That video is there, and it's specifically with Will Riley and Spencer Ahrens commit 2-man game. Excuse me. So will Riley be here, for 2 years, hopefully, so they can do that again. But it shows you the fit in terms of having a primary ball handler that's going to get doubled by the defense on a screen and roll. You look at KJ, you look at Kylan Boswell. You look at Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, coming off of screens and getting doubled. And you see short roll men. It gives you that opportunity to do a variety of things. So I like it a lot.
And I agree. Again, he may not be the 5-star. He may not be a top 10, top 15 player in the class, but you build your team around not just those guys. You have to have the foundational players around them, the complementary players around your blue chip prospects. And I think Spencer can absolutely be one of those guys for one of the future Illini teams. Alex, thank you so much for coming on. Can you at least let the folks know one more time, where they can find you and where they can find your content?
Yeah. Appreciate you having me on. Armchairillini.com. We post every single day. Armchair Illini on Twitter. I think it's right below my name here, but check out armchairillini.com. We're posting things every single day. And I think we're good friends with the Illini cast and Locked On Illini. So I appreciate you having me on. You're doing an outstanding job on here.
Thank you so much for coming on, Alex.
Thanks, man.
And there you have it. Again, breaking news. As I promised you, not only am I going to be coming on every day, updating you on what's going on in the world of the Illini, but when breaking news happens, I'm going to at least try to be one of the first ones to get that news to you. If you want to be kept up to date, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you really want to be kept up to date, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know immediately when a video comes out. Thank you all so much for joining me today. On our next episode, I'll go a little bit more in depth about Spencer, and we'll talk about what this commitment means on a higher level. But until then, ILL love you guys.